Alright, let's do I Love You by Cole Porter. This is one of my favorite Cole Porter tunes, one of my favorite standards to play. This is one of the tunes that I knew before I started this series. This is the one of the Cole Porter I know very well, and I love playing this tune. So I love the key change. It's one of those key changes where you hardly notice that you changed key. It's kind of interesting. So let's just play it with the iReal Pro here. So as always, we'll trade choruses. First we'll play the melody, and then I'll comp, or I will solo and you comp one chorus, and then we switch. And it's a good idea to use headphones because the bass is kind of lost in the cell phone speakers. So here we go. if you're enjoying these series with Cole Porter tunes, you can become a subscriber and support me on Patreon, and you get access to all the videos. So I post a new video every week, but only bi-weekly here on YouTube. So again, I'm not trying to do anything fancy here. I'm playing as if it was like a, I don't know, a wedding gig or something. I'm just trying to learn a tune. I'm not doing anything crazy about the changes or anything. I always like to do this, what I call poor man's chord melody. This works with this tune really well. If I play the guide tones down there on the 5th and the 4th string, so F and B flat, E and B flat. There on the F I actually play F and E. So sometimes I play the guide tones, and sometimes I play the root in the 7th. Guide tones. Here it's already a guide tone and melody, so I'll play maybe the root in the 7th. Root in 7th. There I'm playing the guide tones on the bottom strings, which you can do if it's up here. Down here it just doesn't work. So this is a technique that is like inspired by Lenny Breau and people like Ed Bickert and Lauren Lovsky. So I have made videos about that, and you can, for example, I talk about this in a video where I use it over the tune It's You or No One. So I'll try to remember to link to that video if you don't know what I'm doing with the guide tones there. I call it poor man's chord melody. It's like you're comping, you need to play some kind of chords at the same time you're playing the melody on the gig, and there's no piano player. This is like a kind of a trick that you can use, and it's also a nice device to use in general. In the original version, I think it's a B flat minor to C7 to F. But most jazz musicians play G minus 7 flat 5. Because the stuff we know, our 2/5 licks work better for that. But if you think about it, it's the same notes. If I play a B flat minor 6, that's just an inversion of G minus 7 flat 5. When you play gypsy jazz, this chord, the G minus 7 flat 5, those guitar players think of this as a B flat minor. Because it's a B flat minor 6, right, in the 3rd inversion. And when I have that kind of thing, it's a minor 2/5, but it's going to a major chord. There's another trick I like to use, I did that in my solos there, and it's to play F harmonic major over the whole thing. So I just play F major scale with a flat 6. It sounds really good, I think. But of course, the second 2/5 is a regular minor chord. So you have that kind of feeling of going back and forth between those. And all of a sudden, you're in A major. So Here's another secret of jazz improvisation. You don't have to always play those minor 7 flat 5 if there's a 2-5. You can kind of ignore the fact that it's a minor 7 flat 5. You just think G minor C7, regular 2-5. Jazz players do that all the time. Like Grant Green, he will, even though the chord symbol in the chart says minor 7 flat 5, he'll play. Even if it's going to a minor chord. For example, I lifted a Keith Jarrett solo over Autumn Leaves, and you know the 2-5, A minor 7 flat 5 to D7. He plays, treats that as an A minor. So they're kind of up for grabs, especially if it's a faster tempo. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to play that chord every time. It's kind of annoying if you're doing that. Now you need to practice so that you are able to do that. But when you're actually playing with people, all those kind of things don't matter that much. What's important is how you're phrasing and your tone and your sound and all that, right? It's not that you have to play that chord every time. But having said that, in this tune, it's just that alternating feeling. So you definitely want to be aware of that D flat, so that because that kind of defines the tune. Also, some people play B flat minor, E flat, G minor 7 flat 5, C7. The same thing is with that when it's a G7 going to C. You don't have to outline that G every time. You can treat that as a G minor as well, but you also, sometimes you want to do it. You want to be able to do it, but you don't have to do it. That's what I'm trying to say. And if you're comping, if you leave out the 5th, you're like, doesn't matter, right? Like, that's why a lot of times we omit the 5th when we're comping. So this is from a musical called Mexican Hayride, and I found a version of that intro. There's an intro, right? Or a verse. So we'll play it. So it's like a bolero. So it's kind of hard to play along with this. It was very rubato, but something like. sounds like you don't know what love is. Alright, that was I Love You. I hope you enjoyed playing that tune, and I shall see you next time.